see how it looks in there.
Yeah.
That'll work, eh?
Yeah, it'll work. There's your seat.
All right, guys, welcome back to the lighter side of RC After Dark Live, episode number 23. We're coming up on the year. We were just discussing that before it started. And yeah, so I guess 3 more episodes and we've been doing this for a year. That's pretty wild. It's no longer After Dark anymore because up here in the Northern Hemisphere in Canada, it stays light out longer. So what happens essentially is June 21st, which I think is the summer solstice, our longest day, it's like light out until almost 11 o'clock. It's pretty nuts. So anyways, that's what happens in the northern part of the world. Let's see. The videos on the channel are way ahead of schedule. So the F-16, what was today? Today's video was the Su-30.
Yep.
The Su-30 is over there. I'm going to California in a couple weeks. We're going to get the nose weight for the Su, and we'll do that, but that's not going to be on the video. But the Su is essentially done. The F-16, which is this coming Wednesday's video, the weathering on the F-16 is back in that part of the shop. I will show you guys what that turned out to be. It looks phenomenal. It really looks really good. It really does. And totally transformed that plane when I was putting the video together. And you see, you'll see this on Wednesday, when you see the first part of the video and then I flash a picture of the weathered F-16, it is a toy versus a real plane. It's so cool. BDX videos, they're gonna start next Saturday, so a week from today. Well, the BDX is done and it's behind me. So I think tomorrow we're gonna crate this thing up. And this turned out so nice, so happy for this. And I'm excited for Kyle to get this. And I'm also very excited to get my BDX at the beginning of May. I'm really looking forward to putting it together. So this thing was an absolute treat to assemble. We assembled it because we don't build planes here, we only assemble planes. And we've started on the F-14, which is in your kind of foreground, I think, there.
Yeah, just in the corner there.
See on the TV. So yeah, we've got the F-14 XL has begun, and I was going to start the Rebel Hot here, but the F-14's coming first. So I know lots of people have been waiting for the F-14, and I've been really excited to get this thing started. So that is basically an update of everything that's been going on. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think so. I think Michael Timms, I believe you sent me some questions by email just before the live started, but I can't look at them because they're on my phone. So if you add them to the chat, then we will go from there. So Ward's manning the camera. So we'll see how this goes.
Yep. I'm getting a lot of highs from everywhere. So Tasmania, everywhere.
Perfect. I can't see your comments, but they're flashing up on the TV. But hey, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I see Stacy up there.
Yep.
All right, so let's take a little walk around here. I'll grab the camera.
That weathering looks really good.
Yeah, I want to go see that first. So yeah, the weathering is, hey Fred, the weathering is cool. So the video on Wednesday is basically a bit of a how-to tutorial. So I cover all of the steps on the weathering. We did this in 2 parts. So what happened with the weathering is I fill in all the panel lines and rivets and everything with oil paint. Then we wipe everything down and almost clean the plane right off, and then go in with an airbrush and we essentially airbrush all the details. So that is the F-16. We have to clear coat it still, but the problem with using oil paints is they take a long time to harden, is probably the best thing to say. So most of the plane is good now. Like when I wipe my hand on there, it doesn't come off, but we still have some of these areas like where the vents are and stuff that this had oil paint in there. So if I go like that, oh, that's starting to dry. So you know, a couple days after I finished, this is still wet, but we've got to give it a couple weeks to harden up. Oh, there you are, Michael. So wanted to see if you could show how to set up a secondary receiver on a smaller jet with 2 receivers and a Cortex, and also the fail-safe settings. Cool, yeah, I'll show you that stuff. And then we've got the wings hiding back here. They're hiding in the back because I don't want them to get damaged. But there is the wings. So, love it. So yeah, the weathering turned out awesome. I'm really happy with it. Here's the tail section. So the only thing left to do on the F-16 is we have to clear coat it, which we're going to wait until probably the beginning of June to do that, to give it a nice chance to dry and everything. And then I've got to do the door for the chute back there. But that's essentially everything that was outstanding.
It's on hold for paint.
Yeah, and we've, what was I thinking? Yeah, so anyways, the video on Wednesday, I'm going to flip you around and give you the award. So the video on Wednesday is very much a tutorial fashion. So I've got a lot of me actually doing the work in the video. And yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. I enjoy doing it because it's fairly artistic as well too, so it's fun.
I was just telling Russell, this light here,
It's a little light down here.
like the green light,
Yeah.
it looks like an eye.
Oh yeah.
So I think it has a red and green eye looking at you from under the plane. It's just because of the weathering.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look the weathering makes it look like it's an eye. You got eyeballs under there looking at you.
Yeah, I'm
Pretty
really
neat.
very happy with how this turned out. And ultimately, my opinion doesn't really matter. The owner, Coco, he is very happy with how it turned out. And I think when he sees it in person, it's the videos or the stuff you see on video, like even the BDX, the color is not a proper representation of the color. Like that's fluorescent orange.
Yeah.
And my picture is the closest, but my video on my regular camera is not even close. It looks like red, basically. So even this, when the camera captures this, it's not the same as when you see it in person. The camera almost makes it look more defined. Like it's almost like hard lines, like I took a pencil and drew the lines. But in person, it's very different.
It
so
looks like it has a personality. That's
Yeah.
what it's giving it a personality when you see it
Yeah.
for real. I think Coco's going to fall in love with that thing and just want to keep it up in
He's
the
not
air.
even going to want to fly it when he sees it.
No, he's going
Yeah.
to want to see it flying because he's going to love it. With
wow, the power is going to be nuts.
that he's going to have in that thing, and the,
Yeah, totally.
the beauty that thing will look like when it's in the air. It's just going to be like, wow.
So yeah, this was. I'm happy to get this done.
Can't wait to see what he does with it.
Yeah, the SU, of course, that was the last video today. I'm happy that thing's done, other than CG. So that's pretty much it.
Pictures for reference on the weathering DB.
Yes. So I pulled up as many as I could. Now, of course, the weathering is subjective, right? So the weathering is like, if you look up the Israeli Air Force planes, I mean, you'll find all different types. But one of the pictures that I found, this is very similar. The only difference with what I did, and you'll see this in the video on Wednesday, is I did kind of an initial wipe with my oil paints, and the airframe was very dirty. But then I actually wiped another layer off and cleaned it up. That other weathering picture was the same as like my dirty stage, so it was very disgusting. So anyways, yeah, I was using some real pictures for reference, but also it's just some common sense on how it works. But there's so many variations of weathering, so it's kind of hard to just say, you know, here's how it's done. So anyways,
You're going to get a few Top Gun guys asking you to do that to people see this.
oh no, people will see it and say, oh, that's no good, I'm terrible, and everybody's got their lovely opinions, but whatever.
Nick says the Greek Air Force would be a challenge. They faded.
You got to take a
Jeez, yes, it would be.
steel wool and just wipe it all down.
Yes, it's still
Oh, and if you're noticing, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, but it's actually kind of cold outside still. But our nice weather's coming, our spring weather's coming. Might be first flight of the year this coming weekend. That's the hope. So we'll see how it all works out.
We've had a very reluctant spring.
Yeah. So, Michael Timms, you asked the question about the setup. So let's talk about that first while we have parts out. Because we've got some parts here that's going to make that setup fairly easy to explain. Or easier to explain. If you're a Jetty person, it'll be more easy. So I'll come over here and do it. And I should grab some cables.
I'm gonna put this back here and get that camera out of the way. Okay.
So this is parts for the F-14 XL, but it's going to represent what you're asking fairly well.
Look at that, a fresh one right out of the box.
Yep.
Now you're supposed to, when you open that up, you hear, oh, and a glow of light
She
comes.
kind of glory.
Maybe last year when they weren't available anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's something to do with the production.
All right, so the only difference with your question that you asked is in a single receiver setup. I'm just going to bring this in a little bit and angle it down.
More, get your. Bring it back
That'll work.
a bit if you want.
So with a single receiver setup, we would generally be using a Rex 12. Now the Rex 12 has a set of, or an MPX connector on it. Actually, I think I have a Rex 12. Let me grab it.
Yeah, power input.
Get him over here, even the screen, everything.
Let's see, Rex 12, Rexy 12. Where are you? There's a Rexy 12.
5 inches of snow and 0 degrees and ruined the Saturday fly day.
Oh, and
Sorry,
we've even
Mike.
got a DSM 10. That's perfect.
DSM 10, that's good.
So this is exactly how I've got my Rebel Classic set up. Now on our Rebel Classic, we're using one battery for everything. Yes, I know that is such a terrible idea, but guess what? It works. And it works well.
There are some out there who have different opinions.
So this is how the Rebel Classic is set up. So this is a DSM 10.
Magnetic switch. Oh no, it is.
It comes with one, but we use a Rex 3
Okay.
with it.
I've used those.
So the DSM 10 comes with a magnetic switch that we just toss in the garbage, and we use a R3 to turn the DSM 10 on and off. And then we've got our Rex 12, which would be the preferred receiver for a single non-central box type setup. So what's the benefit of this? Well, the benefit is it keeps things simple, is ultimately the best thing about it. So basically what's going to happen here is I should grab a battery for proper representation. We're not going to plug it in, but the way I've got my Rebel set up is I've got all my 2 pigtails here. So you can set up 2 batteries if you want, but we've got our blacks put together and our reds put together, and our battery comes into the DSM.
Take it back that way more
10.
if we can get it in the screen.
So we've got our DSM 10, and then our R3 is plugged into here. So the R3 is the remote on-off switch from your radio. So I just flick a switch and the entire plane turns on. So from the DSM 10, we have our Rex 12 plugged in. And the reason you use a Rex 12 is you've got a nice MPX connector. Now, if you are using 2 batteries here, you're going to have, it's going to be pulling from both batteries. So you have a bit of redundancy built into that as well. Mm-hmm. And then what we do with our system is from E1 port on the Rex 12, we go to, at the end of the day, it's going to be B, but that's where it starts and that's where it ends with this type of setup.
You showed this today in your video.
Yeah, it's a little
You
bit,
have that sketch out of it.
but it's different with this setup.
That's
so
right,
because
that's
it's just straight in, straight out, and then
Comes out of 6.
all your ports. No, because you're using all your ports, right?
Right.
So this is essentially how the simple version of how it gets set up. So you can set a plane up with just this stuff right here and be good with it. Now, when you set your radio up with this type of setup, channels 1 through 6 need to be your channels you want to control with your gyro. So aileron, elevator, elevator, rudder, nose is channel 1 to 6. So in your radio, in your function layout, that needs to be your designation on your first 6 channels, because channels 1 through 6 on the Cortex are going to be those channels. That's just what they are. Now the other thing is this actually opens up 18 to 19 channels, because you also still have 12 channels or ports on the Rex 12. It's really not, we shouldn't be calling them channels, they're ports. So you've got a whole bunch of changeable ports here on your Rex 12. So 1 through 6 is on your Cortex. You can keep 1 through 6 as what it is, or you can go in there and make number 1 function 7, number 2 function 8, and so on and so forth. So you could configure this however you want. Now we go a little bit further and we use clones on everything. So if you are going to use dual path, you can do this a couple ways as well too. So with dual path, which I don't use, you can bind this as your second receiver, port number E1, which is an EX bus port is what you have to set it up as, and you can go into the Cortex and make it as a dual receiver. The second receiver goes in A. Your primary is always in B, no matter what. So that's a perfectly functional setup. Now, we use clones. So what we do is we take the clone, and the clone gets plugged into the primary receiver, just like that. So this is a great way to do it. The other thing we would do here is we would take one of our spare ports from the Rex 12, so let's just say port number 12, and we would run the positive negative wire from here to our A or B channel port, or you could plug it into A as well too. That just gives all the servos that you're running from the Cortex more than just this one lead powering everything. Now it's got 2 leads to power everything. So that is how it can get set up. There's multiple ways of doing it. There's multiple options, but that is the 2 receiver setup with the basic setup. Now, Danny at AeroPanda, he just finished his Kinetics. So the Kinetics I don't have here anymore. We sold it, but the Kinetics is a big plane. Danny set up his Kinetics with this setup, and he's using 2 batteries. One for the turbine. He might even be using 1 battery, I can't remember, but 1 battery for his entire Kinetics, or 2 batteries, 1 for the receiver, 1 for the turbine. This is a phenomenal setup. It works really well. It also saves a ton of weight. When you think about this setup right here versus putting even a Central Box 200 in it, it makes a big difference. And that's why, like, my Rebel Classic is 20.5 pounds. The other Rebel Classics we built have been 20.5 pounds. So when you save weight on this type of stuff, when you go with a little bit lighter servos, the SL servos, the skinny 599s, it makes a big difference. You can save pounds by doing that type of stuff. So, Michael, hopefully that answers your question and is clear.
And I think anybody would be asking questions like, what's the use of a clone?
The clone just acts as a second receiver. There's been a whole bunch of discussion on that lately. A lot of guys don't agree with it, but...
Well, and one of the main reasons Manny was talking about using the clone, if this getting the receiver information fails, the clone still can control, you got power to your airplane, still getting a signal.
Yeah, there's lots of back and forth with it. The clones right now, when you have a clone pair, or it's really not fair to say a clone setup, because that's not the correct way to say it. It's actually default.
It's default to a backup.
So when you set your Jetty radio up in default, that means it's using all 4 antennas in the radio to communicate with the one receiver. When you set up another receiver as clone, it's an invisible receiver doing the same thing.
Just like a
So
ghost.
yeah, the differentiation is between the default setup and the dual path setup. So with the clone setup, usually works better in high traffic areas. You also get better performance from your telemetry. You get less fades in and out and stuff. Perfect. Thanks, Michael. I see your comments on the TV there. That's awesome. So yeah, that's one of the ways to set it up.
I'll just put that stuff
Yeah, this goes back in there. You want to pop that back in?
in. Yeah.
Thank you.
Into the suitcase.
Questions, guys?
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, Ward will
Try to get them up.
pass them on.
You should just read off the big screen up there.
Oh, we only have 50 people today. It's quite quiet today.
Quiet.
Oh, lost one. See, dropped out.
So F-14 XL, we are,
Motoring along.
yeah. So what we started off with was just getting everything organized today. So we got the plane off the the adjustable stand over there. We got the fuse split. And the reason to get the fuse split is because we have to, as a first step, service all of our air cylinders and service and Loctite our landing gear. So the front end is done. We've taken the front gear out. We've serviced all the air cylinders, put the front gear back in. Now we're moving on to the main part of the fuselage.
David says that's a very good explanation. That we
Yeah,
had.
Nick says, can you do the default as a backup in the days?
Yeah, awesome. So Ward, if you want to bring the camera over here,
Okay, Vanna.
you just pop it up there. So we're basically getting our, there we go. Sorry guys. There.
Not my shaking.
So what we have to do to get the main gear out is we've got to take the wing structure out first. So the wing structure is, it's okay, I got it. The wing structure, I think, looks like it's only held in with 2 bolts. Now the 2 bolts are coming through the main I-beam of the gear structure. So this ultimately, I think, is going to be easier to work on than the smaller F-14 just because you have more space. But that's what we're trying to accomplish in this video, or tonight on the live, is we want to take the main swing wing out, which is an absolute monstrous piece. I'm actually interested to weigh this and find out how much it weighs. I'm guessing like 7 or 8 pounds.
I was guessing about 4.5.
Yeah.
If it's titanium.
No, it's not. It's aluminum. But this motor alone is that's a big honking motor.
1.5.
So yeah, that's what we're doing. So we're going to pop the wing structure out, and then from there we're going to start removing the landing gear, and then with the landing gear out, we're going to start servicing the air cylinders. So that'll be good to get the air cylinders done there, and then the only other air cylinders we have after the main gear is the air brake stuff. So
The tail feather.
yeah.
Oh, the tail feather, just straight up.
And actually, now that we've got a Jetty Box, I'm going to start cycling those
And you're welcome.
servos. Hey, I paid you for it. Come on now.
I know.
It's not like it was a gift.
Lucky we had one in the neighborhood.
Somebody might have fried their Jetty Central box, or what is it called?
The Jetty Box.
Jetty Box yesterday. Oh, the batteries are buried.
Hey, stuff happens.
Nick says, dang, it's a big sucker. Yeah, it's a
Yes.
big plane.
That's actually been probably the biggest challenge today, was just like getting it out and organized.
Yeah, lifting it, Nick, it's huge.
Like generally I can kind of manage by myself, but
Like I'm a big guy and this is like big size.
It's huge.
Holy crap. You can't. I was just trying lifting this.
no, there's nowhere to lift it.
Yep. So Jonathan had to double the stands on it, and I guess he had to bring out one of his kids to give him a hand putting it in place because I wasn't here yet.
Well, the challenge is the underside is so soft, right? So you can't just put it on 2 stands because it'll crush itself.
Yeah, because you'll actually go right through the fiber foam.
Yeah.
glass.
There we go, that'll work. So yeah, that's the challenge with it is, so the rear stand is on the elevator formers.
Yeah, on the back support, yeah.
Yeah, and then the front one is, the only real structure in the front is that center section, so.
Oh yeah, you have the stand right.
Yeah, David S. says the shelves look fuller. Looks like more jets.
Yes.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Might be some projects we brought back from
Yeah.
Tucson. They've just been living in the trailer for a few weeks.
That Ultra Bandit looks sweet.
Jonathan can't go anywhere without coming back with some planes.
Yeah.
It just seems to be that it's an addiction, people. You've given him addiction that he just can't get over.
It's a give and take.
Okay, so now we'll start cycling our servos.
I'll show you. There you go.
I was thinking you need probably like 2 of those. Because if when you're doing service.
Well, you can put a Y cable. If you had
do 2
a
at a time,
if
yeah,
you had a
that's
4 cable, you could do that too, but that's what everybody always says, but whatever. You just do them one at a time and
Just
be
let him
happy
go
with it.
and walk away. Go do other things.
exactly. It's not like you're sitting there waiting for it, right?
I like those servos. I like the big.
No, that's not mine.
That's mine. That's yours.
Funny, yours tastes just like mine.
Hey, yeah.
It's just the backwash.
Put a little more cherry in
No,
there.
put your initial on.
Yeah.
That's how come I do that. I put a W on mine.
Too many Diet Cokes floating around. Okay, focus. We need to get our wing thing out.
Okay.
Yes, let's go and do that.
Give me my pen back. Don't put your pen down there. Pen
Well, I think I need
You need,
probably a big guy. Looks like a big sucker.
and you also need some. You have some small metric sockets.
4.5.
There we go.
I need something soft to put on top of my workbench, aka F-14.
So this whole assembly's got to come out.
Yeah. But it's only 4 bolts, so.
I thought we were doing this and then taking that.
No.
off. No.
I just don't know what size it is. It might be an 8mm.
Here, I'll get you guys a good view in here. See the destruction that's
Yeah,
going on.
the hardware we're after is right under down there. Off of this bracket, it screws up into.
So we just got to be careful we don't open this too much, because then it wrecks the hinge.
Don't worry, Dave. I'll be repainting it.
USS Nimitz.
Justin M.
He was on the-
USS Nimitz was on the.
Justin said he was on the USS Ranger, CV-61.
Yeah, this is the, what is it,
Nimitz.
Nimitz? Yeah. So,
Oh yeah, so this would have been the plane based off of the Nimitz.
Yeah.
many people ask, if you're a newcomer here, why are you taking the gear out of the plane? Why are you taking the wing structure out of the plane? Well, they don't get Loctited from the factory. So that's the reason. There's no other reason other than that.
It's basically we're doing an airworthiness checking. Make sure everything's done properly.
Yeah.
Airworthiness certification.
So there's the bolts holding the wing structure in.
Huge, man. That is.
That's a big honking piece of hardware. Yeah, so and it's pretty common with any manufacturer. Nothing gets Loctited, so all the gear always has to come out of any Skymaster plane, and they always need to be Loctited.
It's just that special thing we do at the lighter side.
Well, some guys don't do it.
And then,
They pay the price after flight number 1 or 2.
and then there's problems that arise. For people like me that don't flat spot the input.
Yeah, so it's only 4 bolts holding that together. That's cool.
That is actually really nice.
The little one, I can't remember. It might have been maybe a couple more bolts, but they were a lot harder to get at was the problem.
Location.
Yeah, I think I needed to take one of the gears out and then take the tanks out, and it was a bit of a nightmare.
Sounds like working on a modern day car.
Yeah,
You got to take 3 or 4 things off to get
Yeah.
whatever the problem is.
Russell is very rustic.
Rustic.
Yeah, you have to read what Nick said.
Yeah, I can hardly see you through here.
And Craig wants to know what's the size of your workshop.
it's 24.
Meters, please. He wants
don't
it in
know.
Meters.
You have to do the conversion. 24 feet by 44 feet.
So
8 meters.
8 meters, just over 8 meters.
Divided by 3.28.
I just divided by 3.
No, then it's not accurate.
Hold that.
You can add 3 inches on for every meter.
Doesn't want to come. It's stuck. So something.
There's our washers. Those washers go underneath there.
Oh, you know what?
And David says it's not big enough.
There's the bowl on the top of these spars here. So
Yeah, I
if you
know.
go, it doesn't want to move. It binds up under here.
Yeah. No, the workshop is definitely not big enough.
Originally, when you came from the sports court, this was like really nice
Yeah.
because the heated floor and everything like that. But
He has a dream.
So we've got these guys. There's supposed to be one more that fell out.
so okay.
Might have fell in. It's just a little fiberglass washer.
Oh. It's nice and clean in here. He's hard at work.
And David says more extra large jets coming.
Really?
Yep.
Craig laughs, LOL.
But they're all a secret. We're not telling anybody. Okay, we got to try and find that one washer, so keep your eyes out for that. So yeah, this is the same as the little guy. So it's a nightmare because I think you have to take the gear out in order to get this out, because it's the crossbar that's preventing us from getting the thing out. I'll try it one more time, but
Justin says if your shop was 100 by 80, it still wouldn't be big enough.
no, absolutely.
We have a huge chunk of land that we want to fill.
If we slide it to the back, try like this. Does that take up any more? Tighten it up?
No, it's the same thing. So what happens is as you pull it out, it hits the crossbar of the gear. So, yeah. So we got to do it exactly the same.
All that wiring. Let me see here. Just got to bring that up again. All that wiring perfect for the RF interface,
What?
but still today negates today. Whatever that means. Craig says he's looking at a new house and working out what he needs for a workshop.
As big as possible.
Yeah. 'Cause if you get a new toy, like one vehicle that you want to keep inside,
Yeah, there goes your workshop.
there goes, that's the compromise my wife and I have all the time.
Okay, you can pop that closed.
Plain Mike says that he guesses a Carf F4 and a Skymaster 150 XXL.
What?
F-15.
What kind of guess is
Oh
that?
yeah, where are they getting these guesses?
He's a workshop of 200 by 200 feet.
My lips are sealed as far as what's coming.
Is that a big emoji smile?
Oh,
Yeah.
David's smiling. I wonder what that means.
Or is it a wink? It's a wink smile? So,
That's a big smile.
that's a big smile.
We're looking at the comments
Stop.
on the TV.
You're looking at
Nick says you need a 101 Voodoo, the full size.
a That's funny how they've never made a model of that from.
Was 63 feet long.
There we go.
So what's the next procedure then?
Well, the next procedure is to drop the landing gear is the problem.
Well,
So.
if we drop one, you should be able to get.
Well,
you
they
have to do this whole
they both
bracket.
yeah they both have to come out, but the gear needs to drop. So
That means all the airlines have got to come on.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
This is always probably the most time consuming of any Skymaster project.
You got to cut.
No, I just pull them off.
It just pulls them off.
Actually, leaving the zip ties there so you know where the routing of the tubes go.
And I got to use my phone and take a picture.
Yeah.
Somebody is asking a good question about turbine oil.
Yeah. What about it?
Hello, it's Jake Canoe. Jake Into. He would like to know, if possible, what's the quality of
Quality of
turbine oil they
use and what
brand they would recommend.
They come from Portugal.
There you go.
So I use the Power Model oil from Power Model Oil. It's
It's the blue oil, we call it.
It's right
There.
there. That's what I use
No,
right there. Power
back it
Model
up,
oil.
Back it up. There you go. Okay.
That's sweet.
So it works good. That's what I use. You basically use whatever your manufacturer is recommending for your turbines is the best suggestion for you.
Basically, yeah.
You know, there's lots of different options, but ultimately you should be using what your manufacturer is recommending. So, but I use the Power Model stuff, works good. It's more expensive than using like DTE Lite, but I don't use DTE Lite, so.
But there's also more additives that are in there too.
Okay, so I'm just pulling the airlines off.
Dave, we're stripping your plane.
Here we go. Don't forget to video.
Yes, heavy on the video.
My garage is bigger than a house.
Yeah,
that's the way it should be. I saw a meme or a thing on Facebook today. It was like a picture of a guy's garage with his car parked in it, and his bed was in there, and his kitchen was in there, and I think the caption was like, what every guy's house would look like if he wasn't married or whatever. That's totally true.
A washroom and a toilet in the corner. Washroom.
Jimmy wants to know,
shower.
what was the most challenging model to fly?
Ugh. Honestly, in my opinion, the F-18 is right up there. Every time I've owned an F-18 and flown one, it requires like 100% focus and concentration. Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of stuff going on in that.
This is
Getting close.
close.
Wants to bring an F-14 to the Boeing factory.
Really?
What did he say?
He wants to bring an F-14 to the Boeing factory. Think it would fit in there to work on it? Oh, yes. Oh,
Okay,
yes.
quiet on the set.
Okay.
All right, so we've got our wing opened up here, or our fuselage opened up. We've undone our 4 bolts holding the wing structure on. Now the wing structure, these are the bolts holding them on. There is only 4. There's a series of washers here as well too that fit between this and the I-beam. They're basically all the same thickness, but there's 4 of them. And this doesn't just come out. So just like the smaller F-14, you loosen this off, you drop the gear, and then the wing structure comes out. What happens is it kind of is shaped like this, like a U. So when you start pulling this out, the other side hits the I-beam and doesn't allow you to pull it out. So if you really wanted to damage your fuselage, you could keep pulling and it would destroy the center section. Or you can undo the bolts for your landing gear and drop the landing gear out, which is what we're doing. So we've undone all of our airlines, and we are now going to undo our fasteners, holding this gear in place.
Is it the speed or more?
What's going on?
Big bugging close about bowling.
Oh,
Trust me, that's something that started many decades ago. On this.
Klaus, hey now, too soon. I agree. Come on, give him a break.
That's right.
All right, so now we need our little guy.
He's the guy that's going to get in there and fix that company. Turn it back and do it in its place.
Do 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 do. Use a magnet tray. I haven't used a magnet tray in a while.
Yeah, so those look like about 8mm nuts, huh?
Wow. I don't overthink it. I just undo them.
No, I know. I just start grabbing the sockets and go, oh yeah, hey.
We just,
Commons,
it fits in the hole, let's use that.
yeah, but the common size 8 is used a lot.
Hello from Davenport, Tasmania. Hello, Stuart.
Howdy.
Need a magnet.
And yes, this is definitely nicer to work on than the smaller one, even so far. The downside is moving it around. The positive side is actually being able to get in here and work on things. The little one was, well, it's not the little one, it's the medium-sized one. But the little one was not as forgiving.
There's this sleeping somewheres.
Yeah, we were talking about it when I was inside. She kind of goes through phases. So right now she's in her I want to be on the couch inside phase, so that's why she's inside on the couch. She was out here most of the day though.
Yep, she got her pets in her purse.
James Jackson's, do you come to Dallas?
What's that?
The guy James Jackson is asking, do you come down to Dallas?
I've been to Dallas before, never for an airplane event or for flying or anything.
Victor's working on
Definitely like Texas.
Yeah, I like Texas too. There's a little bit I've been in there.
Texas feels like home, like Alberta.
It feels, yes, very much with the similar culture.
And I do enjoy smoked meat, so.
Oh yeah.
Justin is asking how much does the metal wing, we don't know yet. We have to get it out and weigh
This
it.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This?
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna weigh that sucker because everybody's having bets on it.
Well, I'm guessing about 4.5,
I think more like 7.
7.
So
What's yours?
Me, I'll just say 5. I'm gonna go for the middle.
5. That's just above me. What is this? Like the price is right, trying to cut me down?
Can you hold that gear up for me?
Well, Bob, what can I say?
Yeah, there's some of these that, yeah, you have to.
Nick says 9.25.
No.
No way.
Too
no.
much.
No, Nick. Sorry,
No,
man.
that's what he put in, so let's
I know,
find out.
I know.
Don't criticize him.
No, it's
Justin is saying 7.45.
Yeah, that's better.
What was your first model full build?
Oh, my first model full build, that was my F-22.
Craig's 6.9 for the weight.
6.9.
What size is that bugger? It's not that size.
Is it X?
Yeah, but it's a recessed one, so it's a
How
little
was
bit
the
different size.
F-15 FB jet you built?
It was okay. The gear on when you've built or owned a Skymaster plane,
Stacy's 5.8.
Everything else is just not even close. Like BVM gear it's just springs. The Fabeo FB jets, F-15, same thing. Like the gear is just not even comparable. So that's the problem with
These other guys.
yeah, with the other planes is it's just not, the quality in the gear isn't there. We had a couple issues with little things here and there, like the elevator servos weren't glued in, or the mounts weren't glued in properly and stuff. So, but I mean, nothing. Skymaster has their issues as well too. So.
Yeah, they have issues, but there's certain ones you can overcome easier than others.
Nick says, billet on the way, a bit looking forward to his chocolate fish. Whatever that is.
See the one in England?
Yeah. This is the pain in the butt one right here.
Way down low. Oh yeah, I got those the exact same little ratcheting ones. I was using them the other day. And that's nice, you can put that little bit in there. It sinks right in, it hidens it right up. That little ratchet works really good. I think your trades came in. That's right. They don't trade on the weekend, right?
So this one screw I'm fighting with is it's a button head that's recessed
Justin says you need a 1/4-inch ratchet.
into the.
Oh, it is a 1/4 inch. It's a small, low one. It's only about that long.
It's recessed into the gear structure, so that's why it's a struggle. Oh, we need the sky.
Oh yeah. And it's long too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need some weight taken off of it?
No, just needs to unthread. That's all.
Oh, it's threaded right through. Yeah, so you're spinning the threads right out of the wood.
There we go.
Got it.
Okay, so that is all of the fasteners back there. Yes, it is.
You have to do the front ones, right?
Yeah, front ones are, so we should be able to drop that down.
Okay.
Front ones are 2.
Just two.
Just 2.
There's 3 in the back.
Yeah, it's more like an L because I was looking at it too, going, I thought it was going to be a full square around, but nope, it's just
An L for
for the frame of the wheels, the landing gear.
It's amazing. It's just 2 in the front.
And James wants to know where the T-33 is on the schedule.
Oh, the T-33 is on the back burner. It gets, because it's my plane, it gets pushed.
He said his dad flew one as a trainer.
It'd be nice. My intention was to have it done for Montana Jets in June, but that's not even possible at this point because it's got to be painted and stuff. So it'll probably be an end of the season next year type thing.
It's all David's fault because he has all these planes being built.
Yeah, we got a lot of, there's just lots in
Yeah,
the queue
it's
right
just
now, so it's
so
not
much
really a
work.
big deal.
David's fault.
I know, it's only a kid.
He has some very interesting planes he's bringing through that are helping the YouTube.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's
channel.
wonderful planes, like I say, it's just fun.
Just pop that in the magnet tray.
Okay.
So this is the last one.
David, fault us. What lighting system on the F-14?
So the F-14 has the stock Skymaster lighting system. It's a nice setup. It's almost as detailed as the Unilight setup that we put in the smaller one. And then we're doing a Unilite afterburner lights on this, which is the same setup we did on the smaller F-14. So it'll be really bright afterburner lights.
James Jackson wants to know if you've done an F-88 Snoopy.
I have not.
And Nick says,
Perfect.
quite a bit of building for the T-33.
Okay, there's a shim on the front.
Yeah, there is so much work to do on it, but it's still a wonderful plane once it gets built.
There's a shim right there.
Okay, that can fall. Here, I got it.
Okay. You know how these come out, the jiggy. There's usually just one direction.
Spacer's out. Well, usually the spacer, okay, let go of the gear. Usually the spacer has to come out so you can do this.
Yes, Nick, the T-33 does not need to be rushed.
Beautiful. Should come bang
Woo!
like that. That's a Mamba Bomba gear, man.
Let's weigh that.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
This has got to be,
I'm guessing 7 pounds.
no, this has got to be 4.5 pounds.
New weight guess, people. What do you say the weight
Yeah.
of just?
Guess it. I'm not going to weigh it until people guess.
Okay, what's the weight, guys?
Let's see
Tell you
some-
what, let's do a giveaway.
Hey!
Whoa.
Everybody.
Why
give
not?
away. Yeah, that's a good
Let's do a giveaway.
That's right.
You guys are excluded. You're not allowed to participate.
We're too close to
So if you want to be part of the giveaway, it's a secret what it is.
Justin says 4.35.
Guess of this structure right here in pounds. Put your guess up on the screen, and
Nick-
Ward
Victor
can look
says
through the chat and
4
see.
pounds. Plain Mike says 5. Gordon Gilroy says 3.7. Stacy goes 4. Craig goes 4.1. James says 5.2. These are all in pounds. Nick says 9.25.
No.
Ted
Nick.
says 4. David says 5.5. 3.8 from Elgo. 3.4. Whoa, they're really coming in fast.
Everybody's coming
Yeah.
hot and fast. That's good.
Come on, people. I
That's
can't do
good.
50 people.
That was really good.
All right.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay,
here we go.
we're gonna cut the guesses off here pretty quick.
Okay, and
Flight system 3.2.
Not yet. They're still coming in.
3.2. Holy
well, we've
cow.
got 56 people. They're going to put the bids in.
4.6.
Well, that's coming in. What's the giveaway going to be?
Okay, well the giveaways. If you have any more guesses, this is your final 30 seconds.
I think Victor was way up there. 9. I don't think that's.
4.86 from Nick.
There we
5.4.
go.
Dennis goes 4.25.
Been holding on to this for a while.
Ooh,
A little bit
nice.
of lighter side of RC art.
That's right. That's
So
very special.
we made this with our one of our laser cutters when it came in. So this is our giveaway for this little 3D art thing that I did up for the thing. So
James says he wants a shirt, please.
In Texas, he wants a shirt. Gets so hot down there.
all right, so all those guesses are in. This is it. Sheldon, you're the last guess. No more guesses after this.
That's it.
Okay, people.
Okay, so we are
Here we go.
Do you want to cross there? Yeah.
Okay.
1925.
That was the year of our
Where's
Lord,
my
1925.
other phone? I had another phone somewhere. There it is. Okay.
1925.
1925 divided by 454. 1925 divided by 454. 4.24 pounds.
That's actually really light.
Somebody
I
was,
was
very close
I
to
was
there.
sitting
Ward, you got to
fours.
cycle through there and find out.
Okay, so
4.24
oh,
pounds.
4.24.
I think you said 4.5.
Well, Dennis said
4.6.
4.25.
That was actually pretty close.
Who said 4.25?
Dennis.
Oh, Dennis is totally, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just trying to see if there's any 4 point. No, that's 4 pounds. 4.35.
Well, actually, this thing fell off, so that's 4.25 pounds.
Okay, so Dennis,
Dennis,
you got it.
Dennis, you get it? Send me an email, please, to lightersideofrc@gmail.com, and I'll organize getting that to you.
Wow. Thanks for the explanation of the turbine oil. You could come to jet power in 2024 in Europe, Germany this year is going to be spectacular.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So those are
James wants,
hefty.
still wants the shirt.
James.
Well, all you have to do when you're watching the YouTube videos is order it offline or online. That's all you have to do. Very easy.
And Klaus says, measure vertically on the wheel.
That's kind of a gimmicky little thing that needs to be glued in place.
Goop.
Yeah, after the...
Goop, yeah, that's actually a better idea for sure.
That's a goop thing.
All right, forgot, that was so exciting, I forgot what we were actually doing.
We're
gonna
taking
take
up the
out
cross section in the wing.
And then we're gonna weigh it. So we have another giveaway.
So no, let's, I gotta video that portion first.
Yeah.
Okay,
Do you think it will actually come out then?
Victor gives
Yeah,
up.
it'll come out the other side.
Okay, this guy.
Okay, which microphone? Is that flashing blue? Or it's
Yep.
blue? Okay. All right, so we got our left gear out. Definitely a bit of a challenge, but it's out. Just as a heads up, this thing weighs 1,933 grams, which is 4.25 pounds. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And we're actually doing a live right now, and on the live, we're doing a giveaway for who got the weight the closest. So if you don't know about the lighter side of RC After Dark, I highly suggest you watch because it's always exciting what we're doing here. Everybody that's on the live right now is seeing this video, seeing the stuff we're doing tonight with the F-14 like 2 weeks in advance. So definitely check it out. There's some links down below, but the lighter side of RC After Dark, it's a separate channel, tons of fun. The live chats and the live things are a blast.
Yeah, we're here to have fun. Now for
So,
the next one. Are we gonna do a giveaway for the
nope,
cross brace?
nope.
Okay, we already had that plotted out, right?
Too bad, so sad.
Do you
Okay.
want to cycle another servo?
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Okay.
All right, so cross brace, or this thing, should just slide out.
James wants to know what's the lime green plane?
Which one? Oh, up there, that's a Havoc Foamy.
Foamy. What is it? Electric motor.
Oh, crap. Is that ever heavy?
How much does this?
Oh, I think we got to
steering
pull the
gear-
tanks out too. What a nightmare.
Really?
Yeah, this was the same thing with the little guy.
Justin M wants to know how much does the steering gear weigh? Steering gear?
I never weighed it. It's lighter than the mains, but so it's probably, if I had to make a guess based on those guys,
Under 4?
you're probably 3.5 pounds on the main, on the nose, sorry.
That would make sense. Doesn't take as much force.
No. Okay, so that guy's probably our red Allen key shorty.
If you take out one tank, you get it out.
Oh, maybe. The problem is so when we put this back in, we've got to put the cross brace in. We have to just do this in reverse order.
Yeah, and Nick says if you would have weighed both legs, he would have been closer.
Very true.
That was a good thing. You see how everybody just jumped in there when you said,
well,
hey, do a guess?
Well, it's a giveaway, man. Prizes.
That's true. And I tell you, that's nice art. That's really nice art.
All right, tanks.
You're gonna have to remove one tank, are you?
Well, both of them need to come out anyways because we need to put our fuel system stuff in there.
Yeah.
So
And plus test them for.
this is all part of the
Procedure.
all part of it all. You can't actually put this plane together without doing what I'm doing. So
Yeah, I guess you never had the tanks out yet.
no, I've really done nothing. Actually, when I took the cockpit out today, that was the very first time I ever took the cockpit out.
And Victor says, otherwise it's just watching you babble. Thanks, Victor. Jonathan appreciates it.
Now we're gonna pop that one out too.
Dennis says, thank you all.
It's just the front too. There's nothing in the back holding it. It
Nope.
just sits up against the frame.
Oh, it's slotted, so there's a wood slot that goes in there.
Keyhole, basically.
Yeah.
CM jet tank upgrades for the F-14.
Nope. The CM Jets tanks, I know Doug Boyle from Jets North, he put that in his. The CM Jets one actually goes in front, so it's to add more capacity. For this guy, because it's a weight thing, we're just sticking with the stock setup and keeping it as light as possible. Holy crap, is that ever heavy?
What was the guess on this, guys?
I think I'm going to be close.
What did you
Wow, I said like 9 pounds or something?
say? 7.
Or no, maybe I said 7. I can't remember.
You said 7. I said
Holy,
9.
is that ever heavy?
That was a long time ago.
Wow.
We're going to have to rewind the video.
James says his wife loves the cat. That was a forced comment that he had to make.
Nice. Okay, so
That's a big
this is beefy. Please don't break my scale. Holy mackerel, no, it's okay. I got it.
You got it?
4550, so about 10 pounds, because 454 grams in a pound. So this is
9.25.
46. We'll just call it 4,600 grams.
Klaus says, Jesus H. Christ.
Yeah.
Sorry, Klaus, you're right on that, man.
So 4,600 grams divided by 454, 10.13 pounds.
10?
Wow.
I would have never guessed.
Well, he
No,
definitely needs
feel
to put-
that.
Yeah.
He definitely needs to put bigger engines in because that's weight.
I think a lot of the weight, to me, it feels like it's in the ends, right?
No, those are solid. Those are solid all the way up through. You hear it, this whole piece is solid.
Crazy.
Right here.
It's got a windshield wiper motor in it.
That's
Wow.
probably heavier than the piece that's in my shoulder, my reverse orthopedic shoulder piece. Oh God, that's huge.
It's big.
You don't even see that on cars. Some of that.
All right, so we got our main wing structure out and just weighed it. Comes in at 10.13 pounds. It is beefy. A lot of the weight, yeah, feels like it's in here. And obviously the motor is going to be fairly heavy as well too, but that is a beefy structure. Very impressive. That looks super cool. Wow.
That is huge.
That's wild.
Careful. we
Realize
got
that
fiber
with-
on here.
Yeah.
We got-
That's almost 20 pounds. Almost 20 pounds in the middle of that plane.
With
you
the
take
gear,
gears,
yeah.
both
The
gears
gear,
and
yeah.
that.
Yeah, this is going to weigh almost nothing now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I bet you it does weigh hardly anything.
You take out that other gear.
Yeah, like this is nothing now.
So the mass structure is the mechanism and the gear.
Yeah. Yeah, well, even the inside here now is like, I mean, most of the structure in here is all foam, right? So a lot of it is foam core, or just straight foam.
Let's see this.
And, you know, you've got plywood where it counts. You've got some carbon added on here where the gear ties into it. Carbon here where the gear ties into it. But just to get weight, like this is foam board essentially. So it's amazing.
Here's a whole, that's a hanger in there.
Yeah.
You can put a plane in there.
Yeah.
It's wow.
Big.
Yeah, so you take the count of those are 20 pounds. Easy.
Yeah. That's cool.
Then you take the tanks and you have them full of fuel.
Yeah,
All the
that's
weight's going to
impressive.
Right dead center. Yeah, you must take the other gear out and then we have that all done.
Yep.
Set.
I got tweezers in my toolbox if you need them.
Notice I'm not using my gloss.
All right. There we go. Okay, so Just going to snap a couple more pictures of the gear to make sure that over here, to make sure that we get the airlines done properly.
Yes. Okay, gotcha.
This is always one of those important steps. Snap some pictures so you know how things go back together. And I'll show you guys kind of one of the differences with this landing gear compared to the smaller F-14, if you want to bring that camera over here, Ward. So on the smaller F-14, there's a couple issues with the landing gear. So one of the primary issues is there's no stop built into the scissor linkage or the dog bone. So on the small one, it uses one of the very small, delicate Skymaster air cylinders. So on like 1 or 2 gear downs, this just destroys itself because it's relying on this air cylinder to stop. So a fellow named Michael, who is a machinist and stuff in the military, he built a set of dog bones for the smaller one. Now this one is the same setup as far as the linkage here. It doesn't have a stop built in, but because of the plane's bigger, and of course Skymaster has the ability to do this on the bigger plane, they've reinforced this air cylinder. So there's a big beefy end on the air cylinder.
Yeah.
Obviously a totally beefed up structure here designed to deal with this, which is nice to see. Now the other thing they've done is the air cylinder here is only a one-way cylinder. So it relies on the red, which also comes here, and the red is the up. So when you do gear up, which is pressurizing the red line, it's pressurizing the cylinder and it's pressurizing this cylinder, which swings the gear up. To keep this locked, I can hear it. There's a spring inside there. So when you squeeze this, you can hear the spring squeezing. So as this comes down, this is actually spring loaded. On the smaller one, if you ever watch that build series, we made some little clips that go on here, some little remove before flight clips that lock those linkages. Because on the smaller one, if you look at this the wrong way, the gear can collapse. So it's nice to see them do that. I still think in transport, it would be a good idea to put a bar or something across here. And just just a little lock bar or something just across here. So when we transport this plane, we'll put something across here, zip tie, or a little Velcro strap or something.
With the red flag.
Yeah, that just prevents this from being able to pop up, right? So that's the point of it. The front one has a lock built into the cylinder. It's nice to see them change the gear up like that. The rest of the gear is the same Skymaster stuff, just upsized. But one of the best things about the Skymaster gear is the air oil built into the gear. So the oil's adjustable, the air system's adjustable, and it is like so smooth. It's amazing. So
it's like a strut in your car.
Basically. Really is, yeah. It's like a motorcycle strut, a strut in your car, totally adjustable. It's good stuff. So anyways, that's the gear.
That is a beautiful gear.
Very nice.
So we're gonna pop our other gear out.
It kind of says you have to go to Arizona and to the plane boneyard and get 2 F-14 engines for this thing.
I don't think that there's any left because they're not flying now. They scrapped over there.
They're all de-engined.
Yeah, they scrapped that plane in 2005 or 6.
James wants to know if you ever done a T-37 Tweety Bird.
No.
37 like a 33.
It was kind of cool going to the Pima Air Museum there because you see so many planes that are just so, not necessarily not popular, but I just had no idea that they even existed.
Yeah, there's a lot of variants.
Like there's so many variants of what I would say the T-33 is.
Yes, in colors and everything.
Yeah, it's
and
amazing.
Who used them? See, we as Canadians up here, we don't get that.
Yeah.
We go down there and get educated. are the people who have manufactured the majority of the airplanes.
Well, you also have to look at the history. We had the largest fleet we had was the Sabres, and we had like
That was the 50s. Yeah, that
there
was
was
the
6
first.
to 8,000 of them.
That came in just after the Vampire.
Yep.
Vampire were short-lived, and then those Sabres came in. They were actually nice. Like that night configuration with the gold and the red on it
Yeah,
actually
then-
looked really nice.
Then the next was the T-33s and the Tudors.
I think that's still the wrong size. So many different sizes on this gear. 4 different sizes to get the gear out.
Variants.
And James wants to know, when did your business really take off?
In Dallas. He's gotta buy a T-shirt, man.
When did my business take off?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what he
this.
says.
In Dallas.
No, he's from Dallas.
Oh, when did my
James.
business take off? It took off. Honestly, it really took off when there's kind of 2 different stages. So, stage 1 is when I started YouTube. That's when things kind of got more serious and just took off. We're in April, right?
Yeah.
Beginning of April, you know how you have Facebook memories that pop up?
Yeah.
So beginning of April, I had a Facebook memory pop up and I took a screenshot of it. And I shared I think it was April 5th, 4 years ago, I got 500 subscribers on my YouTube channel. And I did a little post on Facebook saying, thank you, that's so cool. Now we're almost at 50,000. So that was kind of neat. Probably the biggest change overall has been when we moved here into the shop.
It's been what, 2.5 years now?
Yeah, it's been
Mostly, I don't
2.5 years. I mean, the biggest thing is size, dedication to everything. I wouldn't be able to do this in our previous place, so
We've gone from a garage to
to 4
Gym.
garages.
a big garage.
Yeah.
You went from a one-plane stable of build,
Yeah.
now where you can have different ones in different.
Yeah, it's totally
Stages.
different. So
They say from when I first started hanging out here, it's basically 1, maybe 2 planes that we're doing a month, and now it's like unbelievable. It's just like constant.
backlog.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's been lots of different stages to the takeoff, but what really did it was starting the YouTube channel when nobody else was really doing that kind of thing, and there's been lots of guys that have started, done more of it, copied what I'm doing, started their own channels, which is cool. It's awesome to see. And but they also know that it takes a ton of work. So, whew. Look at that catch, eh?
Good catch. I'm like watching it.
And someone is doing a 1/4 scale tweet on YouTube.
A 1/4 scale what?
It says tweet. I think that's that previous plane we're talking about on YouTube.
Nice.
And James wants to know, did you build non-flying kites as a kid?
No. What I did when I was a kid, though, I built a lot of models. So I was the kid that got the Revel models.
Revel
Is that the name? Yeah.
Monogram.
So I would get those models, and that's what I did for a lot of my childhood, was build models, cars
that
and
too.
trucks, and
All the
so
way up until grade 6 until we started to get into.
We built lots of models, mostly planes, because my dad was in the Air Force, so that's what we built. And then we would set them up and shoot them with a pellet rifle.
yeah, that's what I did with my models too. When I got a BB gun, I lined all them up and I shot them all.
Or we'd get really adventurous and we'll light them on fire and throw them out the window
Nice.
as they burn. You know, it's
I
like,
remember burning a couple. And when I could get firecrackers exploding with firecrackers,
Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah, we'd get a firecracker and take a G.I. Joe man. You know how they had the rubber band holding their waist together?
Yeah.
So we'd pull the waist apart, stick the firecracker in there, and then the G.I. Joe would explode.
Oh, we used to do that for planes, model planes. Firecrackers in it, and you throw them, and they explode in the. Oh, just great. But then they made firecrackers illegal because people were stupid. Justin wants to know: are you going to build an F-22 or a B-2?
We were on the list for the F-22 from Wind RC. The problem
Okay,
is
first time here. Thank you.
that that plane was on a massive delay, and if you've been following Wind RC's progress with it, they have really struggled, and kind of made the decision to pull the plug a couple months ago. And I'm happy we did because they're still not ready to ship it out.
Made a good choice.
Yeah, it was a good choice for sure. So
Let them get their bugs figured out. Whether or not it even flies.
you know, there's a couple other F-22s out there that are nice.
Hello, Echo Smoke. And
I'm,
Echo Smoke says hi, Russell.
What?
Yeah.
A couple guys saying hi.
Yeah, there's a couple other F-22 manufacturers, right?
Yeah, I like the F-22 because
There's a T1
it's a nice
one or
plane.
something like that?
Yeah, T1
Model
makes
or
one.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah, the models I've seen on YouTube, it's just like, wow, they're beautiful.
All right, so doing exactly the same thing as the other gear, just popping all the hardware out.
Squeaky wood.
That was a little easier.
Nick used to blow up letterboxes and exhaust pipes. All the stuff I could tell you that we used to blow
Get it
up
down.
and burn down half our backyard. Because we would like to play with explosives and gunpowder.
Back in the day when I was racing, we had guys come up from Washington State. The one guy, he actually had a firecracker or fireworks stand. So he'd bring up a whole bunch of buzz bombs and some bottle rockets. Oh yeah, bottle rockets and M80s. Oh my.
Yeah.
We put them under an M80 under a 5-gallon pail. Just like right up to the world.
That's awesome.
Oh, we actually put them down gopher holes to kill the gophers.
We had to make our explosives after a while because since firecrackers made illegal, so we just made ours. We got gunpowder and we just make our own bombs.
Oh, yes. I was
Match
very-
heads.
I was very much a pyro kid.
And Sheldon wants to know when your BDX is going to arrive. He says the scheme is epic.
Thank you. The container is supposed to arrive.
M80s are awesome.
The container is supposed to arrive May 5th, I think, or something. And so we'll probably, hopefully, see it by middle of May. And that'll give me a bit of time to get it all done before Montana Jets. So,
Special gear for that? Like,
And
RE50?
David B says Tone now has a big F-35 with functional weapons bay.
T1.
No, he said T-35.
You said tone.
Tone, oh. Okay,
T1.
T1, yeah. Is the manufacturer.
He has it written down here as Tone. Didn't have a break in between the T and the one.
It's just like working on a car.
Yeah.
You gotta wiggle it the right way to
And-
get it out.
Eduardo wants to know if you're considering designing your own plane.
Ooh, good question. I've actually thought about that.
Really?
A lot of work.
And money.
Well, one of the questions my friend asked me this past week was, would I consider bringing in a line of planes, like jets?
Oh,
And I said, not really, because I don't want to just be another reseller.
no, that's right.
So the only way I would do it is if I was to do my own design. So I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I think it would be kind of cool to do it for sure.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of work, but you got a good chunk of the equipment to do it.
Okay, so one of our servos is done. So as we do these servos, we just put a check mark on them. So this is our official signature that the servo has been burned in. We'll do our other HBL 388s.
Still missing one of those fiberglass ones.
James wants to know, do you offer flight training for customers?
Yeah, it's something I've done before. It's definitely a bit of a process for sure, but it's, yeah, absolutely. Yes is the short answer. I'm trying to think of more stuff to say around it, but yes.
Great models, well past his level. Craig Given says, best to you all. Take care all. He's
Thank
going.
you.
Yes. And if the flight thing, like in the jetties, you have to have it in a clone, right?
Well, you have to have it in default mode, not in clone mode. There is no clone mode.
Default mode. And then you can actually go over to the student and fly.
So this is
For that
our,
other washer.
oh, I found it.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
There
Okay.
is no weight to this plane at all now.
No, once the stuff's out, it's awesome. Okay, so I'm just marking the tanks, just in case.
Left and right, that's right.
And I'm going to check and see if we have any issues with vent location. I don't think we do because there's so much room. Zero issues.
Dude, you just shove the vents up in between.
Right on the top. So, Ward's busy on his phone.
Busy, sorry. Check.
So with our tanks here, these are our tanks for the plane. So we've got one for our left turbine, one for our right turbine. I don't know what the volume is, but it is what it is. So we are going to put a high flow fitting in the top here, and then our vent line is going to go right on top, right above. So that's something we need to get done as well.
I think Nick was talking about if these things came open in flight, they're pinned down.
Oh yeah, so there's two ways that these things are pinned down. So the first one is this long piano wire
Which goes through these little
through here.
outlets. Yeah.
So yeah, that goes all the way through there. So you pull this wire out, drop it down, and slip it in. So it's actually tied in all the way. And in the back end here, there's a receiver hole. So this actually slides in and out. So there's a little lock there as well too. So when you drop this down, you slide that forward and pop it back.
Something you shouldn't be going into all the time anyway, so.
Not really. I mean, when you're starting your plane, it would be a good idea to have these open. But really you don't, the way we're going to set this up is we're going to have all of our running stuff back here. All of our batteries are going to be in the nose, but to fuel the plane, just like the smaller F-14, to fuel the plane, to air the plane, everything's back here in that area.
So using that, having to pull that wire out every time and slide it back in is going to be a real pain. Think you can build something different to?
No.
No, but I imagine you're
It's
going
not
to
a pain
have
at
to
all.
open this up just to get the wing installed into the sockets, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It runs home.
I just thought, it might be a little pain to pull it out all the time and.
No. This is very easy.
And there's no stress on it either, right? It's just holding it down.
Yeah.
No, that's a great way to do it because it's reliable and it's
Very
absolutely solid all the way across.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there'd be no reason to change that. And just make it more complex to try and make it more simple.
Any future build for the new Skymaster F-15 XXL from Todd Watson?
You betcha, one's on order.
Oh, really?
And if you keep asking, I'll keep telling you what else is on order.
How long do you think it'll take to get the F-14?
Oh, sorry guys.
This commercial brought to you by the compressor DeWalt.
The DeWalt compressor cuts in randomly throughout the day.
Stacy was asking how long it will take.
just do that.
Stacy's wondering how long it's going to take for the 14 to get done.
The 14 will probably be done by next weekend.
When you have all the parts, it goes together.
No, I'm being a little bit facetious, but no, it'll go together fairly well. The engines are the only thing that we're waiting for, so we do have all the parts, but the engines are what we're waiting for. They should be shipped out maybe this week, I think.
And you have enough wire. It's going to be, and connectors.
Yeah, everything else we're good on. We've got all of our parts for it and everything, so it should be probably a couple weeks. We'll have it all.
We got a whole bunch of questions that
wrapped up.
popped up while you're.
Oh, nice.
So you're gonna have to read them all quick.
What else is on the order? Oh, I can't tell you, but if you ask, I'll say yes or no.
Oh, David S. asked.
Oh, David, you said what's on order. Are you giving me permission to tell people what's on order? That's a you call, not a me call.
He's laughing.
Klaus wants to know, do they make a XXL F-15?
Well, Skymaster has the X, I don't know what it's called, if it's XL or XXL, but the big F-15 is on order.
Wow.
Lance said, what happened to the Rebel Hot? No, I didn't build it yet. It's actually sitting in the box there. So I was going to start the Rebel Hot today, but the owner is not in a rush for it. So I decided to do the F-14 first, which is good. The Rebel Hot will probably kind of schedule it in the next little bit here. So some of the projects we have in the queue are not on the build board yet. So yeah, we have got 4 240s coming this week.
Thanks, David.
So what are our 240s for? We've got 2 240s for the F-14. We've got 1 240 for the Razor.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got 1 240 for my BDX.
Yes.
You heard it here first. Yes, I'm going with a Zykoy BDX or Zykoy 240 in my BDX. That's what's happening. David said Carf F4. Ding, 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 ding.
Winner, winner, kitchen dinner.
You winner, chicken dinner. Yes, there is perhaps a Carf F4 on order.
That is going to be beautiful.
And Elgardo wants to know an update on David's Super Bandit. No more flameouts?
He's talking about flameouts.
Yeah, so a little update on the Super Bandit. This is kind of a funny one. So what happened was I nicked the wing like a couple days before we were going down to Tucson. We had some paint here that the painter gave to us. I thought, no problem. So we sanded down the wing, painted the wing, no problem. Put our clear coat on the wing, our 2K clear coat from the can. It went down beautifully. I woke up the next morning, came outside here, and the wing looked like it was like stone. Like it was all crinkly, like a leaf.
Chemical reaction.
Yeah. So, and this was like, I don't know, like 2 days before we were leaving for Tucson. Yeah. So we ended up bringing the plane down. I brought the wing back with me, sent the wing back to the painter. He's working on it right now. The wing's gonna come back here. So the Super Bandit hasn't flown since, but hopefully the wing will be back to David in a couple weeks is the goal. So.
Oh, the language coming out of John.
I was mad. Oh. I was so mad.
I had to cover my delicate ears. I couldn't take that kind of language.
The goal is to get the wing back here and then for me to bring it to California with me when I go down there in 2 weeks. So that's the goal. Hopefully that happens.
So his clear coat and the 2K are not compatible.
Yeah, so what he said, and this is coming from the painter, Jeremy. So what he said was the clear coat in cans, even though it's 2K clear coat, it's got way more solvent in it. Yes, so it's got like 50-60% solvent.
Yes. Have a good day, Craig.
So that's the problem.
Craig has to go.
Because when you mix clear coat, you can dilute.
Yeah, you can use reducer.
Reducer to make it as thin as you want to evaporate or less reducer.
Yeah, so when he sprays clear coat, 0 reducer.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
because that's a whole different
David
model.
says, you'll fly the Super Bandit when you get there.
There you go.
2 weeks.
So that is that's some of the projects coming down the pipe, and there's more too. So
Oh yeah.
there's no shortage of cool projects here.
We need a C cam for all the parts.
No kidding.
A small 20-footer.
No, we need a bigger shop.
Well,
No.
I'll take a C-can in the meantime.
C cam right beside where the trailer parks.
Yeah, exactly.
Right there. That would make a perfect spot.
You can get a couple, I guess.
A 20-foot C-can would be perfect.
Yeah.
This is
40-footers, they're just too big and too long.
But Jonathan will fill it up.
I don't really like when there's like random bolts just hanging out.
Really? Did that just come off there?
I don't know, what's sitting right here.
No, that's been sitting here.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, it was on here.
I think it came off of the gear.
Don't stress about that. It was sitting here. I saw it.
Because we haven't taken anything off these guys yet, so.
Yeah, and that's nothing that I took off.
No. So we'll just pop it in our tray here.
Here's the question: are you going to undo these and Loctite these?
Yeah, everything gets undone and Loctited.
Okay. So
Kenneth says would like to see an SR71.
Yeah, we were going to do one a couple of years ago, maybe a year ago.
on the wait list, wasn't it?
The problem is the guys down, Ollie, I can't remember Ollie's company's name, but he's down in the US.
It's on the East Coast.
And the wait time was beyond 2.5 years. So he wasn't actually even taking names anymore because the wait list was too big. So you couldn't even get on the wait list anymore. That's how big the wait list was. So yeah, we had an SR71 in the queue, trying to get one in the queue. So this is a bit of a puzzle as well because you got to take this out before you can get access to everything. Interesting.
If you just do these.
Yeah,
two bolts
just
here.
pop those up. Man, this thing is just crazy.
So when you get it stripped down, right? Weigh the one shoulder. See how much they weigh individually.
Oh, I'm not going to take it all off. I'm just one screw at a time.
One screw at a time.
Yeah, the only thing I'll pull off is the motor assembly.
That's a lot.
Otherwise, you're just trying to put the puzzle back together.
Yeah, one screw at a time for the Loctite.
Yeah,
We're not in a
these
rush.
guys are going to kind of suck.
They actually, the spacers are actually threaded for these. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's actually really neat.
See, you can do some curls with it.
yeah.
With my gimped arm.
I think that's even the. I made a squished down Allen key because I needed to use it on the Colm engine.
A modified one to get in.
Yeah. Problem is finding it.
My dad has a little loss in.
Flight System RC wants to know is the swing wing arm 7.4 volt?
This is 12, I think. So on here it says 12 volts.
This is the wire.
And then the controller is, where's my controller?
Nick says it looks like one of those Klingon blades.
Oh yeah.
Somebody is a Star Trekkie fan.
So this is the controller for the wing setup. Now there's no instruction manual for this plane, so keep that in mind.
Klaus says it looks more like 12 horsepower.
Yeah.
Probably. 'Cause you got to think of how much force it's going to have to take in flight.
So there's no label on here. The motor says 12 volts. So on here, we're gonna have our battery come in, which is, here's our battery lead here. So battery comes in, I'm assuming aux is the signal. So the signal from the radio. And then we've got our output, which is gonna attach to the one cable coming off of the motor assembly.
Those are small connectors for 12 volt.
Nick says, who
Yeah.
needs instructions, eh?
Pretty much. Well, when you don't have instructions, you just don't have a choice. So you just figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out.
Hope that it only goes in one way.
Yeah.
If it goes in more,
I asked them today where the CG is, and they're like, "I don't know." No,
Really?
I'm kind of kidding. That was Doug from Jets North. He's like, "I don't know," because he's got one. He's like, "I'll figure mine out in 2 weeks when I fly it." But it's pretty much it's going to be on the spar here somewhere. I can't remember on the smaller one if we did it on the front of the spar or the back, but it'll be on there. So.
Sheldon says it looks like a $2 part to swing the wings.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too when I saw it.
This right here.
You know, the little controller thing. It's like
that, yeah.
it's a board wrapped in plastic, and then you kind of look at it and you're like,
Yes.
It's the electronics.
Like they
in
grabbed
it.
a board from somewhere
Yeah.
and remodified it for this.
At least on here they put Skymaster logo on it, but I don't know. I just hope it works well.
I'll hook it up and see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, the battery wires look kind of small. Yeah, Justin, they do.
Yeah,
The gauge looks really small. Really small.
yeah. I mean, I'm assuming the voltage doesn't really matter. It's the amperage, right?
Yeah.
That it draws. So if it's got a big gear reduction in here, it's not going to be an issue at all. So this could spin 1,000 times to make the gear swing, right?
So this probably works like a worm gear. So this spins here and spins this to move.
Yeah, exactly. So this is going to rotate continually. This goes in and out like a linear actuator.
Yeah.
So
Does it say you have to have 2 batteries on this plane? No, or how many batteries does it say you have to have in the plane? Probably
there's
one.
going to be 4 batteries on the plane.
And one might just be for that.
No,
No.
you have 2 for your receiver setup. The Central Box 400 is going to power the lighting system and everything, and it can power lots of different things. And then you've got your 2 turbine batteries, which are also 3-cell, and one of those is probably going to power this guy, or actually better yet, we'll take one of the receiver batteries and that'll come off to this guy as well too. So
Yeah.
Not a fast swing.
no, it's probably 8, like the little one when we put the better actuators in it, it was 8 seconds fully open. So
So this will probably
be similar, yeah. I would think so. Maybe even longer. But
It'll be under a lot
the wings are huge for this
It'll be under a lot
F-14.
of pressure when you open up, especially if you're flying.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the
That's
pressure
why.
on it.
That's why, like Klaus said, like a 12 horsepower more. Yeah, it's probably about 12 horsepower.
It's probably got a lot of torque.
A lot of torque because to get over top of the friction of the air and pushing the wing forward. Just imagine your arm moving out.
Yeah.
Like that. Like you're going 70 miles an hour and you put your arm out.
That's
the window,
astronomical, yeah. Sheldon says you should send Skymaster some Loctite and save yourself $1,000.
Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Whole package.
Well, they don't want that because they're hoping that people won't use Loctite and the planes crashes and you have to buy another one.
Easy now about the conspiracy thing.
Okay.
But
Jeff uses RX pack for the swing wings, so that's current.
There you go. 1 turbine battery for air pump and another turbine battery for the wing swing.
Yeah, for David, yeah. I figured so.
So I'm looking for my special Allen key that I made. But I don't know where it is.
is it somewhere around that plane? The plane's sitting there. But did you put it in a special
No.
container?
I can't remember what I did with it. I know I kept it in I think it was in my toolbox somewhere.
Laura has a question about 3D printers.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
They don't run CAD software to print the parts, but what you do is you design something in CAD or whatever, and you need to have an STL file as one of the formats. I think you can do it with different files, but I'm only familiar with STL files. So if you take your CAD file, export it as an STL file, then you take that file and you put it in your slicer. So the slicer is actually what tells the 3D printer what to do and how to get there.
The parameters.
Yeah, so I'll show you some of the stuff that I was just making yesterday.
Stacy says it might be in your apron.
Nope.
No.
So here, as an example, is my little labels for, this is for like just generic labeling of little plugs and stuff. So I designed this in Tinkercad, exported it as an STL file, and my actual STL file is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is repeated 4 times, is how I did this. So I put this file into my slicer, I do the color changes, and then it prints this. So it prints the gray first in like 5 layers, and then it prints the black over top in another 5 layers.
What are you printing that in?
That's PETG, but it's also with a 0.2 nozzle. You can't get that detail with a 0.4 nozzle.
No.
The 0.4 nozzle is the normal kind of standard nozzle size.
That's like what's on my K1, yeah.
Yeah, Klaus has a big question there. Let me just see.
So CAD converts what?
Into a file like an STL.
STL, yeah.
For example, and then creates essentially what is called a G code or positioning coding for the machine to print the parts. He knows about this because
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, him and my son.
I don't know anything about 3D printers.
My son actually learned this in grade 11 in computer science. They did this.
One more servo done.
Well,
Big check mark.
they didn't even have these in a dream when I was in school, so.
Oh, they were talking about CAD when I was in drafting in high school. That was the big thing.
Oh, when I was in high school, they were barely thinking about computers.
Well, Ward, when you were born in 1920, that's usually what happens.
Not that far
You're
back.
the butt
Not
of
that
the
far
joke.
back.
Come on. You're not that old.
He's so old, he's an antique.
You know,
It's not really not that old though. How
used to
old is
fly
a
them.
car when it's an antique? 40 years? 20
used to
years?
fly them.
25. It's 25 when it's an antique.
Yeah.
So Ward's like 3 antiques?
I'm a classic.
3D printer works similar to a CNC machine or lathe. It works in layers rather than a straight G code. Thank you, Klaus. That's really good, isn't it?
Kind of sad that I don't know where my Allen key is. I know I'm really focused on that, but. I made that specially for the comb.
Yeah, and that looks like a 4mm.
Yeah, I think it's exactly the same one that I made.
And let me guess, you probably are using that to tighten something up in like the engine?
Well, it was like the mounts for the front mount because you couldn't, like, the exhaust was here and the bolt was there, so. I'm sure it'll turn up somewhere. I have to look for it.
Thanks a lot, David. This is commonly known as a fossil. Thanks a lot.
Nice.
That's funny. He's good.
All right. Time is it? Holy mackerel, it's almost 9 o'clock. All right, guys, if you have any final questions, now is the time to ask. We're going to wrap up the live here shortly. So if you have any questions, final comments, parting thoughts.
David B has a bunch of crying and laughing emojis.
Nez probably stole it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Joe, I love it.
that is possible. Maybe it's in here.
Yeah, Chrome front work is working spectacularly.
Interesting.
It's been a very good.
Is the Ultra Bandit an Evo or a classic?
I know, spin around right up there.
That Ultra Bandit, I'm not sure what it is, but it's a Bob Violet Signature Series.
There's
So
actually signatures right up
as
here.
absolutely limited edition as you can get.
That looks absolutely customized.
Yes, Victor, I'll see you in 2 weeks. So the plan is we're going to go to California, or Jets over California on the Friday. And then we're going to be at Apollo Field on Saturday. So if you're at either or both, I'll see you at those spots. Can't see the TV.
Were you able to install the tail strobe?
Oh, yes.
NBDX.
On the BDX. Yes. Sorry, Sal. The videos will be amazing. The light system on this thing is bonkers. Yeah, I had it powered up last night. It is so cool. And Klaus said that's a classic Ultra Bandit.
Yes. No, David said that, and Klaus says yes.
Yeah.
Classic Ultra Bandit, yeah, those are the Ultra Bandit guys.
Yeah, this the light system on this BDX is next level cool. It's so nice. It's awesome.
It was nicer to install too because the wiring was already done for
Thanks,
us.
Nick. Yeah, thanks, Nick.
Yeah, and your the wiring harness kit that you put together, Sal, was amazing as well too.
Oh yeah.
So it those the templates and stuff for the leading edge on the wing was super cool. So everything worked out well with it. The only thing we didn't use was the top strobe, just because it didn't really have anywhere good to fit, and I didn't want to put it on the canopy. So yeah, so I left that off, but everything else got installed, and it looks awesome. So thank you so much for that, because it went in really well. It's a very impressive light setup, and you'll see it in the upcoming videos as well too. The next 3 videos after Wednesday, so coming all the way into May, is all the BDX stuff. So yeah, it was good. That's it, guys, for the live. Thank you so much for watching and for tuning in. Appreciate it. It's always a fun time. I'm always amazed at how quickly 2 hours or 2-ish hours goes by. That's wild. So maybe by the next live, well, the next live, actually, I'm in California during the next live. So
Maybe not.
I might be doing a live. Yeah, hit the like button too, please. Give this video a thumbs up. I see there's only 27 thumbs ups on this video. Come on. In 2 weeks from now, I'm in California, so I might do a live from my hotel room, maybe walking down the street in California. We'll see what happens.
Hey, yeah.
It'd be fun. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you in a couple weeks. Yes, Stacy, it's not 9, but LOL.
Boys.